What's going on, everyone? It's Jeff at Lockdown Security, www.lockdownsecurity.ca, and today I am making the first of what I hope to be many videos in our comparison series. So what are the comparison series? Well, what I'm looking to do is basically make product comparison videos to make it easy for you, our viewers, to choose which products you want to purchase, either from us at Lockdown or out there in the automotive electronics market. And we had put a survey up on our YouTube channel, which basically mentioned this, where we said we were planning to do product comparison videos. We would love to know what products you would like to see comparisons on. So far, over one day, 5 people have voted, and it looks like 60% have decided that dash cameras is where it's at. So this is going to be the first topic of our comparison videos, which is essentially our heavy hitter flagship dash cameras, the best of the best 4K models. And what I want to do is I want to introduce to our viewers our new comparison section. So here on the screen, you will see this is our front and rear dash camera page at www.lockdownsecurity.ca. The way that you find this page, for example, is you go to the top menu, dash cameras, and you go shop channels, front and rear, and that will end you up on this page. So if you come to this page at the top menu, there is a button that says compare cameras, which I'm going to press, and it's going to take you, the viewer, down to our dash camera comparison chart. So as you're going to see right now, and I'm just going to pop this onto full screen view, you're going to see that you have 3 Thinkware models. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, this is going to be a heavy hitter flagship dash camera comparison. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare basically what I believe to be the 3 top cameras on the market right now. And then I'm going to make it a little bit interesting, and I'm going to add a few different models to kind of give you, the viewer, an overview of some other choices you may have. So what are the 3 flagship cameras right now? Well, the first one, in my opinion, would be the Thinkware U3000. The next one would be the Blackvue DR970X 2-channel plus. And the third one, at least at Lockdown Security, currently would be the Viofo A329 2-channel. Now, if you check that out, I use the select camera selector to essentially line up these 3 models together. You'll see the images, you'll see the title of the cameras, exactly what format the cameras are, the MSRP prices, and then if we scroll down, you're going to start to see line item features that you can compare side by side to one another. Now, this video may be a little bit boring to some because I'm going to go through feature by feature to compare these options, but I think from the perspective of somebody looking to buy these expensive cameras, if you look at them, they're all priced very similar. The Thinkware is the highest price at $699. The Viofo is next up at $559. By the way, it's on sale right now, so check it out on our website. And then you got the Blackvue DR970X 2-channel plus, which is the lowest price currently, which is at $549. Now, again, these prices are MSRP prices, so they could go up, they could go down, and they could vary from time to time. But we list the MSRP prices to kind of give our buyers a understanding of what the camera is generally priced at. Obviously, if you scroll down, there is a button that you can click that will take you to the most current price. But let's start off by comparing these cameras. So all of these cameras are going to be 4K cameras in the front, 2K cameras in the rear, all except for the DR970, which is actually a 1080p camera in the rear. And if you look at the Viofo A329, it's actually one of the first 4K 60 frame per second cameras in the front. So that's huge, because 60 frames per second, what that does, it doubles the frame rate. You'll see the Thinkware is 30, the Blackvue is 30. So effectively, if you really ask somebody to compare, you'd probably be getting the best image quality out of the Viofo. However, you'd be getting the highest file size out of the Viofo because, like I said, you're taking double the frames per second versus the other models, which is obviously going to fill up your memory card faster. If we take a look now at the image processor field, you're going to see that they're all using the Sony Starvis 2 IMX678. And that's right, we get right down to the technical model of the image processor so you can make a comparison. You're going to see that all the image processors in the front are the IMX678, 8.4 megapixel. In the rear, the Thinkware is using the Sony Starvis IMX335, 5.14 megapixel. The Viofo is using the Sony Starvis 2 IMX675, 5 megapixel. And in the rear, the DR970 is using the Sony Starvis IMX307 2.1 megapixel. Now, the clear winner with image processors, again, is going to be the A329 clear winner in terms of resolution. I will also note that the Viofo A329 is the newest model of camera, so obviously it's going to have the latest and greatest in image processors. Next up, we've got our viewing angles. You'll see the Thinkware is 152 in the front, 128 in the rear. This is in degrees. On the Viofo, it's 140 in the front, 160 in the rear. The Blackvue is 146 in the front, 131 in the rear. So in this case, the Thinkware wins out with the widest view angle on the front, but the Viofo wins out by a wide margin for the widest image or the widest viewing angle in the rear. Next up, we compare memory cards. So the Thinkware is equipped with a 64 gigabyte card, supports up to 256. The Viofo does not come with a card. You have to purchase that extra, but it supports up to 512. And the Blackvue comes with a 64 gig card and supports up to 512. So the clear winner here in terms of storage capacity as well as memory card that is equipped would be the Blackvue. Next up is SSD, which is solid state drive. This would essentially be additional storage. Thinkware does not support SSD. Viofo now does on the A329, but it does require an optional cable that's extra purchase. It supports up to a 4 terabyte solution, 4 terabyte SSD. Blackvue, no SSD support. Now, why would you want an SSD drive? Well, if you really want the most amount of video storage for the longest period of time, then you're going to need an SSD or a very large memory card. So imagine if you had a 512 micro SD, 512 gigabyte micro SD in the Viofo A329, and you had a 4 terabyte solid state drive, hard drive, and you were recording 4K 60 frames per second. Realistically, you could have literally weeks, maybe even a month, month and a half's worth of video footage recorded if you had maximum storage on the A329. Which is pretty incredible. That's very rare to see, and it's a new and upcoming feature. I hope Thinkware and Blackvue start to release that sort of support very soon too. Next up, Wi-Fi and LCD. Thinkware does not equip the U3000 with an LCD screen, but it does equip it with Wi-Fi. Viofo, on the other hand, has Wi-Fi and an LCD screen. The Wi-Fi has 2 different bands, 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi 6. Basically the latest and greatest in Wi-Fi technology, making it much easier to connect to the camera. It has a very small but handy LCD screen, 2.4 inches, that you'll see in the image right here. Blackvue, on the other hand, also offers 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz multi-band Wi-Fi. It's not Wi-Fi 6, but it is multi-band and no LCD screen. Clear winner here. Viofo has the best features when it comes to Wi-Fi and LCD. Next up, GPS logger, otherwise known as a GPS antenna. It is included and built into the Thinkware. It is included and built into the camera mount of the Viofo, and it is included and built into the camera with Blackvue. Next up would be the ADAS, which is the Advanced Driver Warning Systems, basically vehicle safety features. Thinkware is the clear winner in this regard. You'll see that Viofo and Blackvue do not include ADAS features, whereas Thinkware prides themselves on their ADAS features that are included. What does that mean? That means you're going to get forward collision warning, FVDW, which is front vehicle departure warning. That means it'll actually beep at you if the car ahead of you starts to proceed ahead and you're stopped. It's got LDW, which is lane departure warning. It's got RCW, which is rear collision warning. So it's got all these features. You don't really have to do anything. They're activated by default, but you can, full disclosure, turn these features off. I must say with the ADAS safety features, they're cool to have, but really and truly what they really do is they beep at you. If you ask my opinion, and it's just my opinion, I think the best features in ADAS would probably be the RCW, rear collision warning, maybe the lane departure warning. But again, these features just beep at you. It is sensing all of this info utilizing the lenses of the camera. Next up, you're going to have speed camera alerts. That would be red light cameras and speed cameras. The Thinkware has a database which they preload onto the memory card when you buy the camera, and you can periodically update that database that it reads off of, and it coordinates the location of these speed cameras and red light cameras based on signals it's receiving from the GPS antenna. That's pretty cool because if you look at the Viofo and you look at the Blackvue, they do not have those features. There are no speed camera alerts equipped on Viofo, nor are they equipped on Blackvue. Next up, we come to where these cameras are made. The Thinkware camera is made in South Korea. The Viofo camera is made in China, and the Blackvue camera is made also in South Korea, just like the Thinkware. Now, why do I list the made in location on the comparison? Well, in years gone by, it's not so much of a concern nowadays, but in years gone by, dash cameras made in South Korea were by far the best quality cameras versus cameras made in China. There was a little bit of a quality difference. But now, effective 2025, beginning, I would say, late 2023, going into 2024, now in 2025, the quality increases that were made by the Chinese camera manufacturers were huge, especially Viofo. Massive quality upgrades. Really and truly, they are on par with the South Korean brands, in my opinion. Your opinion may differ, but in my experience selling these cameras, we have not had any quality issues with Viofo compared to, Thinkware or Blackvue. Next up, you're going to see our comparison includes a link to the user manual. That's extremely helpful for those of you who may be looking for comparing these cameras. Reading the user manual is very important. It can help you make a great choice in the camera that you purchase. It can also enlighten you to features that you may not know or that we may not have listed here in the comparison. You may want to know how some of these features work, like the ADAS features, so you could read that in the user manual, which we have so nicely posted here. Next up, summarizing. We have put at the bottom of our comparison a field that says, why choose this camera? And I hope that this is really what you, the buyers, get the most use out of. So essentially, we've compiled our experience. And again, we're a little bit biased because, we're selling the cameras, but that bias is positive because we know these cameras in and out. So for the Thinkware, why would you choose this camera? Well, you choose it for the radar sensors. You choose it for the ADAS and speed camera alerts, and you choose it for being so easy to use across all fronts of the camera. Now, what are the radar sensors? I didn't get into that here, but the radar sensors are essentially sensors built into the camera, both in the front, it's built in here right next to the lens, and built into the rear, which essentially make it much more efficient for parking mode recording. So instead of using the optics to detect motion for parking mode, it's using radar signals. So just like the way radar works, it's the same way that this works. It sends a radio radar frequency out. It waits for the return of that frequency if it hits an object like a person, and that's what activates the camera. Why is that a positive? That's a positive because it makes your parking mode much more efficient when it comes to a power consumption aspect. That means that in parking mode, you could use the Thinkware U3000 for much longer compared to a Viofo A329 or a Blackvue DR970. Why? Because the Thinkware is not going to be turning on and off as much as the other two cameras, because the other two cameras, they're going to be utilizing their lens and a differing in light spectrums to activate parking mode. So it's a lot more power hungry to do that because you've got to have that lens always watching, whereas Thinkware can actually shut down the lens and keep the more efficient radar sensor on. So that's a big reason why you would pick the U3000 for the radar sensors. We move over to the Viofo. Why would you choose this camera? Well, you would choose the Viofo, again, because it wins out on so many different features like the rear viewing angle, the image processors, but the big one is the 60 frames per second 4K resolution. This is by far the best resolution camera from a spec perspective that we carry. You would pick it for the SSD support if you wanted that huge amount of storage. Obviously, keep in mind you're going to be paying for that, but that's a huge thing. It's the only dash camera in this segment that offers that. You'd also be picking it, again, for the Starvis 2 IMX675 rear image processor. That's what makes this different from the other two cameras. It's got the best rear image processor. We move on to the Blackvue. Why would you choose the Blackvue? You would choose it for the Starvis 2 image processor. Again, these other cameras have it, but that's a big selling feature of the Blackvue. And you would choose it for the cloud support. What does that mean? Well, Blackvue by far has the best cloud viewing capabilities. What does that mean? That means that if you wanted, you could theoretically connect the Blackvue camera to the internet and watch the footage remotely. Full disclosure, you can do that with Thinkware, but in my opinion, Blackvue's cloud system, I believe they're now calling it Fleeta, is by far the most mature and the most advanced cloud viewing service out there. That does require the camera to be connected to the internet, so that means that you're going to have an internet connection in the vehicle, whether you leave your smartphone in the vehicle or whether you have a modem that's connected to 4G LTE. That's completely up to you, and we can certainly make more YouTube videos outlining what that is, and we will do a cloud camera comparison as well in another upcoming video. But for those of you who are looking at why you would choose the Blackvue, that is a big reason for the image processor and for the cloud support. I will say this: there are new versions of Blackvue. There is a new version of the Blackvue DR970 that will be released. I don't think it's going to be called the DR970. It's not quite out yet. Full disclosure: one of the reasons why the DR970 is the lower priced camera out of these three is because it's an older model. So in my opinion, if you are looking at these three cameras right now, you really can't go wrong with the U3000, and that's why so many people purchase it. I think it is our most popular selling camera, but if I personally had to choose, I would buy the A329 right now because the A329 is by far the newest, most high resolution camera, and also has the highest amount of storage capacity, which is awesome. Now, I said earlier in the video I was going to do something interesting and compare a few other options. What are those other options? Well, I'm going to get rid of the DR970 and I'm going to populate the, I scrolled down too far, the Wolfbox G900. Okay, or sorry, the G900 Pro. So this is a new model from Wolfbox, which is a brand that we carry. It's a slightly different style of camera, but the Wolfbox G900 Pro is the flagship model from Wolfbox, which basically has the same image processor up front as the Viofo A329 and the Thinkware U3000. It's going to give you 4K image quality in the front, 2.5K image quality in the rear. It's utilizing the Sony Starvis 2 IMX678 in the front, the Sony Starvis IMX335 in the rear. So you can see it's essentially the same specs as the U3000. The viewing angle in the front is huge. It's 170 degrees. Comes with a 128 gig card, supports up to 512 gigabytes, does not support SSD, has the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, comes with a 12-inch LCD screen. It's a rear view mirror monitor, so this clips over top of your existing rear view mirror, but there are options to permanently mount this in the vehicle. It has a GPS antenna. It's included in the package. It's this antenna right here. Does not have ADAS safety features, does not have speed camera alerts. It is made in China. We do have the user manual here. And why you would choose the Wolfbox G900 Pro, you choose it for the low price compared to others. You can see it's $329. It's almost half the price of these cameras. You choose it for the huge LCD screen, and you choose it for the ability to potentially have a backup camera. What does that mean? That means that the rear camera, you can either mount it inside the vehicle or you can mount it on the exterior of the vehicle and connect a reverse input to the camera so that when you put the vehicle in reverse, it will show the rear camera image on the screen. So it doubles as a backup camera. And again, half the price, which is insane. I mean, I'm telling people now, you know, it's definitely a contender if you're okay with this form factor of dash camera. Is the quality as high as Viofo and Thinkware? I think it's a little bit lower quality, obviously at the price point being so low. It may be a little bit less build quality as the others, but I got to tell you, Wolfbox is really, really good. And if you are okay with a rear view mirror screen, I think the Wolfbox is definitely worthy of your attention. I'm going to compare one other model here, and that is, I'm going to get rid of the Wolfbox. I'm going to add the A229 Pro 2-channel from Viofo. So you're going to see the price, $379 is MSRP on this one, 4K in the front, 2K in the rear. You get the Sony Starvis IMX678 image processor, the Sony Starvis IMX675, again, Sony Starvis 2, my mistake. So same image processor as the A329. It's about $150 cheaper. It has the same viewing angle, comes with no memory card, but supports up to 512. No SSD support, no 60 frame per second frame rate. It's actually 30 frames per second. But essentially very similar resolution, very similar features to the A329 at a lower price point. That's why the A229 Pro has been extremely popular, because when you're comparing these flagship cameras, it is essentially a flagship. Yes, no SSD, and yes, no 60 frames, but 4K in the front, 2K in the rear, LCD screen, Wi-Fi. I mean, if you are looking at the A329, you want to save some money, look at the A229 Pro. And why would you choose this camera? You can see we state the Starvis 2 image processor, the great price, amazing features, and obviously for the LCD screen. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit long. This is a kind of a new format of video we want to start doing in terms of comparison to leverage our comparison charts. You, as our viewer, can utilize these comparison charts. You can find them on our dash camera section. We have a comparison chart in our multimedia head unit section. We will have a comparison chart built out on our anti-theft section, as well as our remote start section. And we'll make more YouTube videos outlining exactly comparing, different products together to help you, our buyers, our customers, make an easier buying choice. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let us know what you thought of it in the comments below. Hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It goes a long way to help us make more videos like this in the future. I really appreciate everybody watching the video, and I really appreciate everybody who has answered our survey so far. We'll put up more, and we're going to ask you guys, our viewers, which products you want us to compare. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.